Actually, we started with the psychology in physiotherapy. The subject name is psychology in physiotherapy. Actually, we want to study psychology in physiotherapy for two reasons: for the assessment part of the patient and to application of the psychology in our daily practice life. We want to know more about the psychological conditions affecting by the patients because we want to deal with the patients like that. If the patient has any psychological conditions, we want to manage that also. We are giving exercise to them. In between that, if they have any psychological condition, we want to analyze that. If, for example, one person has an anxiety, we are giving them exercise daily. Okay, we ask them to do this exercise daily, morning and evening twice. Then after that due to his anxiety, he has lot of tensions, lot of doubts about that exercise. If the exercise is contraindicated or exercise have any problem in his future life, like that he is asking lot of questions and he is doing lot of questions. In that type of patient, we want to deal with the basic of psychology also. We want to know how to deal them. For that purpose is the one way to apply the psychology in the physiotherapy. Other way to apply, we want to know the conditions, whether the patient is becoming violent or not, whether the patient has any other medications, psychological medications that is contraindicated to our exercise protocol, that everything. Some patients have some group exercise is not applicable for some patients because they are psychologically they are not prepared for mingling with other patients also. So we want to give them individual exercise like that. We want to know the psychological health of the patient before giving our physiotherapy exercise prescription and electrotherapy prescription. Okay. For that, we started with the psychology. Psychology is basically we want to study a lot of things. In psychology, first we will study the introduction of the psychology. In this video, we started with the introduction of the psychology. Then on 1879, William Wundt, the one of the person who was the founder of the psychology, he finded that the study of the behavior of human and animal is important to the further practices. Now we want to talk about the introduction of psychology, the hope of psychology. Psychology is the science of human and animal behavior. It includes that application of science to human problems. Mainly, we want to study about the science of human and animal behavior. That is the psychology. Definition of the psychology is that it has two parts: human and animal behavior study, and that includes the application of science. How to apply this science on human and animal behavior? That is the one of the important question from this definition. This definition has two parts. The first part is psychology is the science. Psychology is a science. Basically, psychology is deal with the science. Okay. Second part, the application of the psychology in real life. How to apply the psychology to our real life. Actually, the psychology is very difficult to apply in real life because each patient has each condition. Each patient has each condition, so we can't even apply by theoretical base. We have more practical base for apply this psychology in real life. Okay, the psychology is the science. It includes every theories. Theories means psychology has lot of theories. In that we want to study the theory part, that is called psychology is the application of science means. Second part, application of psychology in real life. how to apply in real life. That is the main part that affects physiotherapists more, because how to apply in we are done with a patient in that how to apply, how to give an assessment by psychologically, that is subjective analysis, objective analysis, everything we need to know. If the patient's replay and all, whether the condition is psychologically based or physically based. In some patients we are giving the placebo effect also. In that we want to know if the patient has psychological pain or physical pain, that we want to know more. Okay, then the application of psychology in human life is two ways. In experimental method is the first method, application of psychology in human life. The experimental method is the first part. Experimental method, experimental method means how to apply in the human behavior, how to apply the psychology in experiment. If we are taking a group of people, in that we want to study about the anxiety and all things, then we will do survey method, or we will do comparative method. In the each person we will do comparative method. Then it's like research. The psychology is like a research. We want to, every psychologist want to research in it. After the research, the result is something called a psychological result.